Welcome in. The Milwaukee Bucks get torched by the Miami Heat in Game 3, 121-99. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer here with you. Follow me on Twitter at Sparky Radio. Nathan Marzian, our guy, Bucks super fan. Follow him on Twitter at Nathan Marzian. If you are catching us on the live stream right now at Sparky Radio or at 12:50 a.m. The Fan, thanks for tuning us in. You are catching us on Twitter Spaces with Marzian. Have us up on Twitter Spaces. Welcome in there. And if you are watching on the Odyssey Sports YouTube channel as we live stream these post-game shows as well for the Green and Young podcast, thanks for tuning in as well. It's like the old school days of me doing post-game shows again, except this time kind of in podcast form. So again, 121.99. Normally, I always kind of start, and I'm not going to start this time with my emotions. I feel like Marzian is more than capable of starting the rant tonight. So Nathan Marzian, with that, after you, my friend.
Yeah, just an infuriating game. They couldn't get any stops. They stayed in it for a while, but they just never could make any real ground up because they couldn't stop anything. The Heat made a ton of threes. In the first half, offensive rebounding, we were allowing a bunch of offensive rebounds. Didn't get to the line. You're not going to win when, you're giving up as many points as they did, and you're not going to win when you just can't get stops. And Giannis is going to help. I'm assuming Giannis is going to be back in Game 4. He will help a lot of this. We're going to obviously get to the line a lot more with him. I think he unlocks a lot of what you can do defensively. But the concerning thing is the shooting for Miami, third straight game that they're just red hot from three. And for a team that was 27th in 3-point percentage in the regular season, it's just, it's concerning that they've now done this 3 games in a row. Giannis coming back doesn't automatically make them shoot worse. That's it. It's definitely a bad loss, something that, without Giannis, it makes a little bit of sense losing this game, but you don't want to lose by as much as they did. And, I still expected them to win this game even without Giannis because, we just have a better team than the Heat do without him. But, yeah, they, and some of this you have to credit the Heat too. I know everyone wants to look at, the Bucks suck and all that, but the Heat they played well. They offensively, they just hit a lot of shots. And so you do have to credit them. I thought defensively they played pretty well as well. So got to give some credit to the Heat, but yeah, the Bucks definitely, did not play well, and 18 turnovers as well. And again, it just felt like, they could never get over that, 10 to 13 to 15 point hump. The whole second half, basically the 2.5 quarters, they just could not get over that hump because of either turnovers or just not getting stops.
You done?
Yes.
Brook Lopez sucked. Let's start there. Awful. Embarrassing. I mean, it was absolutely embarrassing. I don't know if he was hanging out at his house in Disney World too long on the off days, or he was thinking about something else. Maybe he's got some stuff going on off the court that's distracting him. That was the worst I've seen Brook Lopez look in a long, long time. Not knowing where to be defensively, not paying attention when balls are coming his way on passes, no factor at all on the defensive side of the floor at all. He was horrible. I mean, I don't know any other way to sugarcoat it. He was horrible. And you heard him on TV talking about how if they were going to win this game, Brook Lopez was going to have probably a big game. Stephen A. Smith was talking about it in pregame, like, this will be the Brook Lopez big game. And it was the exact opposite. He was horrible. That's my first guy I want to yell at. My second guy I want to yell at is Bud. Like, dude, your team looked unprepared as all get out. Now, I'm not going to yell at Bud because they looked like they were going through the motions and they didn't look like they had enough energy. Like, each dude has to get themselves up to play, right? That's not going to be on Bud. But when I'm watching in the first half, in the second quarter, Holiday down, no pass, shot. Holiday down, no pass, shot. Middleton down, no pass, shot. Possession after possession after possession. And at halftime, I tweeted out, like, their half-court offense was non-existent. It just was horrible. They weren't moving the ball. They weren't doing anything. They had, 3 assists in the first half? That's trash. Like, that's not how you win with this Bucks basketball team. You don't have guys good enough to play one-on-one basketball. If you've got 3 Kevin Durants, by all means, go play one-on-one. But you don't have that. You got good players in Holiday and Middleton. Yes, all-star type players, sure, but not enough to do that. So that's number 2 for me. Number 3, Giannis is sitting over there on the sidelines, right? And you see at least one camera shot that I noticed where he's talking to Holiday in a timeout or whatever else, patting him on the butt. Where was the passion from the guys that were actually playing the stupid game? Where was Middleton letting his guys have it about not playing defense or getting them riled up to go? Holiday's a quiet dude, so it is what it is. That's like trying to tell Michael Redd to have some emotion. Like, it's not going to happen. So I understand that. I don't expect Drew Holiday to do anything. But Middleton does have some fire, has shown that grit before, and could be that guy. Bobby Portis is another one. In foul trouble, trying to figure out how to play. Another non-factor in the game today. So both of your bigs in Portis and Brook Lopez killed you. Absolutely killed you in this basketball game. Unacceptable. Like, you could talk about them shooting an ungodly great amount from 3. And by all means, I never thought in my wildest dreams there'd be 3. After game 1, I said, maybe one more time this happens, and that'll be it. You're not going to have it more than that. And like Marzian pointed out, we've now seen it 3 straight games. So now, this is the deal. Bud, are we going to respect the 3 and change how we're playing, or are we going to continue to play the same way we've been playing defense? Now there's got to be some more adjustments here. And Bucks fans on Twitter going into halftime going, well, we know he's not going to make any adjustments in game because that normally never happens. And they really didn't. And then you come out in the second half, you're turning over the ball, making dumb passes, looking unorganized and horrible again to start the second half. I mean, it was a horrible basketball game by the Milwaukee Bucks. It was horrible. If that would have been a regular season game, they should have been chastised for how bad they looked. Do you want to know who should be chastised more than the Milwaukee Bucks? You fans on social media deserve to be more chastised more than the damn Bucks team that played out there. Some of you ought to be ashamed of your damn selves. You watched this team win a championship just a couple of years ago with damn near the same basketball team, right? The best player in the league in Giannis, at least in my opinion. You may disagree, but in my opinion, he's the best damn player in the league.
I don't disagree.
They should have won the game without Giannis. I said it earlier when they said he was out. I was like, that's fine. I don't want him playing anyhow. They should be able to beat him without. Some of you all tweeting at me, oh, season's over. Trade Middleton. Let's see if we can get Jaylen Brown. Do this. Everybody wanted to blow this team up and start over because everybody thinks the series is over. The series isn't over. The series is the farthest thing from being over. Okay? You can be mad and you can criticize stuff happening in the game. But for some of you just to give up and say the series is over because they're down 2-1 to the Miami Heat, that's loser stuff, man. You're acting like a bunch of damn losers. Like you've watched a Bucks team suck for 15 years and they're going to let you down again. That's not what we have. This is a team that just won a championship. And they would have won another one last year had Middleton not been hurt. And y'all are acting like y'all have watched horrible basketball for the last 15 or 20 years. Stop. You're embarrassing yourselves. You look like a bunch of children. Pisses me off. Like I went through all of this crap with a majority of you doing post-game shows for all those years on the Fan. And we acted like you acted tonight, like a bunch of children. Why? Because we didn't know how to win. Didn't know how to win. We never expected to win a championship. We never thought we'd have a Giannis. So we overreacted to every little damn thing. Now you won a championship, you got the greatest damn player in the world, and you're still acting like it's like, I don't know, 2006 or something. Stop. Stupidity is what we're showing ourselves right now. Knock it off. If I had a radio show, I'd be doing the same damn thing right now. Just pisses me off. I've had my fill. I've sat here. I've been calm. I've been chilled. I've let Marzian be the emotional one. But tonight, that's it. Some of the crap that I saw on Twitter tonight, again, y'all ought to be embarrassed with yourself.
I just kind of stay away from, going on Twitter too much after these games because you have every right to be, and you are, and we both are. You have every right to be very upset about this game. You have every right to call them out for playing like shit. Excuse my language, but like you have every right to do that. Nobody's saying that like, oh, it's perfectly fine that they lost this game. It's, like nobody's happy losing this game. Nobody's happy that they looked this bad. But, you can be mad that they lost this game and also say, hey, I still think this series, it's not over by any means. We're still, if we get Giannis back, we're going to be probably fine. And, again, even without Giannis, and I know they looked like crap tonight, even without Giannis, they still have a chance in this series. Like, to act like this is, well, we're done, or, the Bucks are in huge trouble is pretty ridiculous. We've seen them come back from 2-0 down against teams much better than the Heat. And so being down 2-1 is, again, not the end of the world.
I'll give you
But
some therapy. I'll give you some therapy, Bucks fans. For those of you watching on YouTube right now on the Odyssey Sports page, or for those of you that are going to watch this later, when you listen to the podcast and you see the video, pay attention to what I got on. I got a Brewer hat on. See that right there, Brewer hat? I got my Brewer jacket on. Want to know why? Because while the Bucks sucked, I was flipping over and watching the Brewers and Red Sox game, hoping the Brewers could figure out a way to win that game. And they did. I'm cheering my couch. Rowdy Tellez with the home run. There you go. Come on, figure it out. That's how you make yourself feel better. You got another good team right here in town playing Major League Baseball. So if you were depressed watching this crap, you could be happy watching your baseball team play well. Settle down. It's not the end of the world. Kiss your kids, kiss your girl, be happy about life, have a shot of something of your favorite liquor, and call it a night. Go to bed, get up tomorrow, and move on with your life. Monday night, they play at 6:30, TNT. Here we go again. We're the first game of the doubleheader. Nathan and myself are going to be right back here on Monday night. Win or lose, going to be right here talking to y'all. If y'all act like this again on Monday night, I'm going to lose my damn mind. Go.
I mean, if they lose Monday night, it's much more justified, because at that point you're down 3-1, and the series is in real jeopardy. Right now it's just like, okay, this series is closer to 50-50, obviously, than it was when this series started. But this is by no means, oh, the Bucks all of a sudden have a 10% chance to win this series, as it seems people are treating it like.
Butler's hurt. Oladipo's done. Like, he ain't playing. He's done. You saw that. That was a non-contact injury with that left knee. So he's done. He ain't coming back. Jimmy Butler's banged up and hurt. Who knows if he'll be able to play Monday night? And to be honest with you, if I'm the Miami Heat, I don't know. I mean, if I can have him ready for Wednesday in Milwaukee, I don't know if I'm rushing him back to play on Monday night in Miami. Maybe you are. Maybe you don't think you can win 2 out of 3 in Milwaukee, but you've already won 1 game in Milwaukee if I'm the Heat. So why am I going to try and rush Jimmy Butler back and possibly make his injury worse if I'm the Heat? You know what I mean? So they may sit Jimmy Butler and have him ready for the last 3 games of the series. Who knows? Again, that's something else to look at as a Bucks fan and go, they're without Tyler Hero, they're without Oladipo now, and they may be without Jimmy Butler for the next game. Positives that you can look at and grasp at if you need something to make yourself feel better as a Bucks fan.
And I mean, the biggest thing to make yourself feel better is just, okay, I mean, we didn't have Giannis. If this was happening with Giannis, it'd be much more concerning. It'd be much more alarming. And again, I'm not saying that, Giannis coming back fixes everything. I'm not saying that they shouldn't still beat this team without Giannis. They are better than the Heat are when you take away Giannis still. But, I think it's fair to expect, that games like this can happen when you lose your best player. It just, everything's a little bit thrown off, and you're putting the ball in the hands of guys that are just not as trustworthy as the best player in the world. Like, it's pretty simple. And defensively, I think Giannis again solves a ton. I think hopefully they'll put him on Jimmy, because that seems to be the best answer. The only answer to what Jimmy's been doing is having someone like Giannis being able to guard him, because it doesn't seem like anyone else consistently can.
They haven't really played Middleton on him a whole bunch. They want to
Yeah,
run
but
Drew Holiday at him time and time again and let Drew try and deal with him, but they really haven't let Middleton really go at him for any type of long distance.
I don't know if I trust Middleton to be able to do that, but I mean, maybe, I don't know. He's been okay, I think, defensively, but Drew has been fine defensively. He's just small. Like,
yes,
he can play great defense, but Jimmy can still score over him, which
correct.
is, it's not Drew's fault. It's just he's smaller. But yeah, I think if you get Giannis back and you put him on Jimmy, and again, the free throw stuff, like, the Bucks are going to get so many more free throws when Giannis is in the game. Not only just him, but then getting into the bonus, getting other guys free throws and all that. Like, that's going to change a ton. And just, again, offensively and defensively, he has such a huge impact, as everyone knows. I want to go back to what you said about the ball movement stuff. The first quarter was so frustrating because, and it continued, throughout. It wasn't as bad as it was in the first quarter, but they went away from it after it worked so well in game two, moving the ball, getting threes, and they come out and it's like after those last like 6 minutes of the first quarter when they went on that horrible stretch and Miami went on like a 14-0 run. My God, I mean, it's just like, what are we doing offensively? It's, you know, they're not moving the ball, they're not getting good looks. It didn't make any sense, and I can't wrap my mind around it. It doesn't make any sense why you would, why, and they've done this in the regular season too. It seems like they just randomly go from moving the ball and playing well to all of a sudden you're not moving the ball and you're not playing well, and it's like, hey, let's do the thing that helps you play well. Like, it's not that hard to understand. It's not that complicated. Move the ball, get good looks, and good things will happen. Um, are you more concerned? I want to ask you: are you more concerned about the offense or the defense?
Well, the defense, you got to be
Yeah,
able to get rebounds. I mean, you cannot allow them to get every rebound every time you take a shot. I mean, you can't offensive rebound, you're in trouble. I'm sorry for not knowing this. Was Mars Leonard active? Was he on the active roster tonight? Was he suited up?
yeah.
Then why didn't he play? Brooke Lopez was awful. Why didn't you just put him out there and see if he could give
Myers
you
Leonard sucks, dude.
something at this point over Brooke Lopez? Bobby Portis was in foul trouble. That was one big. The other big was god awful. Didn't know when the pass was coming. Didn't know where he was supposed to be on defense. Running the wrong way. He was awful. His head was clearly not in the game. Why not just play him? Who gives a damn? He's got 6 fouls. If Jimmy goes up, hit him. Whoever goes up, hit him. Use all 6 fouls. Play physical. Do something. Like, at some point, you've got to say, this ain't working. Like, you've seen it before, right? In the regular season, not with Bud necessarily, but with some coaches where you get off to a horrible start and they pull all 5 starters. Whoop, line change. All 5 reserves go in. Y'all don't want to know how to play? Then sit on the bench and watch, and let's see if our bench guys want to play. That's what they should have done with Brooke. Like, it was, I'm beyond mad. And I love Brooke, and he is instrumental to them winning a championship. Like, he has to play at a high level, because if he doesn't, you see what happened tonight. You can't have that again. And again, they don't. Adebayo tries to be a big, but he's not really a big. He should own this. And yes, was Miami collapsing inside? Absolutely. They were collapsing inside. And then here's the other one that I love, Marzian. It was like they couldn't see there were 2 guys defending somebody in the post. Hell with it. I'm going
Yeah,
to throw it over there and see what happens. What the hell are we doing? If I
yeah,
could see it on TV in Oak Creek and Marzian could see it wherever the hell Marzian lives, then you're telling me that Middleton and Holiday couldn't see as they were dropping the ball into the post that there were 2 guys covering a guy, and then it gets tipped out, turned over, and away we go back to the other side. That's
yeah. There were 2 of those. I want to say it was to
back
start
to back.
to start the second half. I want to say, there were 2 of those where one of them was Grayson trying to get it to Chris, and then the other one was either Drew or Chris trying to get it to Brooke. And yeah, it's like, oh, there's 2 guys down there. And I don't know. It's like, it's almost like they, at halftime were like, okay, we got to get the ball into the post more. But it's like, okay, that doesn't mean you should just throw it in there regardless of, what the defense looks like. It's like you should try to generate looks in the post, but that doesn't mean like forcing it in there. Again, if there's multiple guys down there, like, okay, stop. Yeah, it was dumb. The one play that honestly made me the most upset about of any play the entire game was they got it to 9, late second, like a minute left, and Crowder has a
He's been
wide
awful.
open, wide open 5-foot shot. It was a. I mean, and even if he didn't want to shoot it, he could have dumped it off to Brooke. You had Brooke there, you had Crowder with the ball, and one guy standing there. So it was either a wide open look for Crowder from 5 feet that I could have made, or you dump it off to Brooke and he's going to score. And he misses it, and they go down and hit a 3, and just like that, it's 12 instead of 7. I was so mad. I mean, I didn't. I was gonna like throw something because I couldn't control myself at that point. I was so mad. But they
He's
like I
not
said,
helped
they
them at
couldn't.
all. I mean, as
No,
excited as we all were to get Jay Crowder, he has not done a jack crap for
no.
3 games. He hasn't. He has not been effective at all. Not at all. Javon Carter, he had a bunch of open looks. He didn't do anything. Connaughton hit a couple. Okay, fine, I guess. But again, he wasn't super effective. mean, you saw the bench points at halftime. What was it? Like 26-8 or something stupid like that for the Heat over the Bucks at halftime? I mean, you've got to get more than what you're getting right now. You just do. Joe Ingles can't defend anybody. We already knew that going in, that he's going to have to hit threes in order to be effective on the floor. And that's got to happen, right? So he's got to continue to hit those threes for him to justify staying out there. The problem is the other option is Crowder, and he's not doing anything. He's not defending. He's not hitting shots. Nothing.
What are your thoughts on the going over versus going under on Jimmy Butler? Because I know he shot lights out. He's been shooting well in the series.
I don't give a damn. I'm not going over. Nope.
Yeah, to me, yeah. See, that's
I'm
my
playing
thing.
under. Go ahead. If you keep hitting threes, I'll live with it. But odds are that's going to stop. But I thought they'd stop hitting threes in the second half. I tweeted out like, "I call me stupid. This won't last another half," and it lasted another half.
But I understand it's frustrating to watch them, do the same thing with him, and you go under and he hits a three, and I want to see them try to close out better. Try to at least give some type of contest, even if you do go under. Like he's not launching immediately when you go under the screen. He kind of takes his time. It's not some quick sharp shooting guy. So I want to still see them attack the closeout better. But the thing is, I mean, if you go over, I just feel like the chance of him either getting fouled or getting a mid-range shot and an easy shot that he's probably going to make, the chance of him essentially scoring, to me, is better than the chance of him scoring on an open three. And I don't care if he makes 4 in a row. I don't care. Like, the chance is not as good. And if he can continue to do that, and if he can continue to hit those threes, you tip your cap and say, okay. But at some point, you have to, you got to choose what you want to give up. And I'm giving that up with him specifically. I'm giving that up over, again, going over the screen and whatever happens there. I don't know. I feel like sometimes people can't grasp that. They feel like, oh, he's hitting his threes, so you have to just go over to take that away. But it's like that opens other things up. Like it's a game of what do you want to do and what do you want to give up and what are you comfortable giving up. I don't know, man. The shooting just.
Duncan Robinson hit threes.
And he hits threes, but for this season, he hasn't been good. And
no, he's not been good at all. No, not at all.
Like, he's a good shooter, but this season, no. And yeah, I don't know, man. The Jimmy Butler ones made me more mad because I know he's not a good shooter. Duncan, at least historically, is a good shooter and he can get hot. And
Kyle Lowry's old butt. Kevin Love's old butt. I mean, the geriatrics on that team are playing well. Jimmy Butler goading Drew Holiday in to jumping up into the air on a three and then jumping into him and getting the foul call. Kyle Lowry literally driving and stops. And Ingles crashes into the back of him and he shoots a shot up and he hits it. Like, their vets are playing with more smarts and trying to figure out how to play the game than the Bucks vets are. They're playing smarter and knowing how to play the game than the Bucks vets were. The Bucks vets look like their heads were in the clouds. Miami's vets were like, we're going to figure out how to get these guys in foul trouble and make baskets. They were playing the savvy vet games, and the Bucks, they weren't. And not only were they not playing it, you didn't see any emotion as they were getting their asses kicked up and down the floor for 4 quarters. Like, none. There was not, sometimes you watch a game and you're like, that dude's sick and tired of it, and that's why you just clobbered that guy. Sometimes that happens, right? Or sometimes you're watching a baseball game and a guy gets drilled and you're like, that pitcher's sick of getting home runs hit off of him in this game, and he's had it, and he did something. None of that. You didn't get any of that. That's the thing that pisses me off is, as a fan base, we're watching and like, dude, come on, man. Show some fire. Give me something. Nothing. Other than Bud losing his mind over a missed kick ball and going haywire when the game was over already. Outside of that, what else did you have really at this point? So now you get a night at South Beach tonight. And if you're Bucks fans and you see them out at the clubs, don't freak out because you might. Then they're going to go tomorrow, have a walkthrough, whatever the case may be, and then they're going to go and play on Monday. And we're going to see the energy that they come out with. And everybody thinks Giannis is being sat because they thought they could win this game. That's why I would have sat him. But is that really the reason? Or is he truly still in a bunch of pain? Now again, watching on
I mean,
watching on TV, didn't look like he was grimacing really, going up and down. But the camera wasn't on him the whole game. So I have no idea if he could have played or not. But if he can play, he's gonna play on Monday.
yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out just how bad it is. If he doesn't play, then for sure, like, okay, this is actually a really, really serious injury. If he's not able to play when they're down 2-1, I fully expect him to play. And yeah, I mean, this game was just it was like I said, it was one of the more infuriating games, and I thought there were several times where we could have gotten right into this game. We hovered right around that 12 to 16 point, kind of like in there for a long time, and it was like, if they can just, the offense was kind of keeping up for a little bit, and it was like, if they can just get some stops, they can cut this thing to like 6, and then all of a sudden you got a game going in the fourth, and they just could not get the stops. And there were several times where guys get lost on a 3 late in the shot clock, and those ones always kill you. And just, yeah, I don't know. How are you feeling? Like, what would your percent confidence be that they win this series now?
100%.
Okay, you can't say 100%.
I
Stop.
just did. 100%.
Okay,
They're
I
not
mean,
losing this series, y'all. It's
yeah,
just
but
not
that
happening.
just because you don't think they're gonna lose doesn't mean it's 100%.
No, they're not. I have not. I don't have any doubt in my mind. They're going to lose it. They're going to win this series. Not a doubt in my mind. Not worried in the least bit. Not concerned at all. I
Okay,
will sleep fine tonight. I'll sleep fine tomorrow. I have no concern. None. Like, they're the
I'm
better team. There's no question they're the better team. Has Spoelstra and the Heat had the Bucks numbers in the past? Yes. Did we know that coming into the series? Yes. Are we surprised they won a couple of games in the series? Not really. I mean, you knew it was a possibility they might win a couple of games. You knew it could happen. Are you mad about how they've lost the games? Probably. This one more than game one. This one has me angry more than game one did. Like, game one was like, okay, fine. They were unconscious. That's not going to last. But now it has for 3 games. So now you have to do something. Like, what's the answer going to be? I'm not Bud. I don't know what his answer is going to be, but they better figure out something to chase these guys off the 3-point line. That has to happen. And I know it's a Green and Growing podcast, but I gotta make this quick little pitch for myself coming up. Packers fans, I know you're listening. Odyssey's doing something special for this year's NFL draft coming up on Thursday. Brian Baldinger and Jason LaConfora are hosting the 2023 Odyssey Draft Show. Join them on the first night of the draft as they talk with local experts from Odyssey podcasts from across the country. I'll be joining them to give them instant reaction analysis after the Packers pick, because we do the Curtin Long podcast, Ryan Horvath and myself. Leading up to the draft, check out Baldy's podcast In the Huddle for his expert prospect breakdowns. Draft show starts this Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central. Listen on the free Odyssey app and watch on the Odyssey Sports YouTube page, where you are currently probably watching us on the Odyssey Sports YouTube page for Green and Growing as we live stream this bad boy right now. All right. So, Marzian, I always call you Bucks superfan. What's your percentage that they win the series?
I would say somewhere between 65-70%. I'll say 70%.
70%.
Yeah, compared to where you were coming into the series, it's a lot lower. Like, I'm 98% sure they win it going into the series. But now it's like, the problem here is you're down 2-1, and with the way the NBA is, at any point, and they've done it now 3 games in a row, but at any point, a team can just have a hot shooting night, and, regardless of who's playing for the Bucks and regardless of how well they play, it's like a team can just get hot and beat you. And so it's not a position you want to be in where, the margin for error continuously kind of decreases. Like, they don't have as much now as they obviously did at the start of the series. So that's where it is. If they win on Monday, it goes up a lot, because I'm very confident they'll be able to win 2 out of 3 at the end of the series with two of them at home. And just, I trust our guys. If Giannis is back, I trust our guys. I trust that, they have that, I guess, championship, the pedigree, the championship. They're not going to just lie down. They're going to have an answer somewhere. And, I'm expecting to come in game 4. I'm expecting it to come basically for the rest of the series. Like, they will have an answer. And I don't know. I still very much think they win the series, but it's like, it's definitely got to be lower than it was before. And even because you also just don't know for sure that Giannis is coming back. We all kind of expect it, but who knows? Maybe he doesn't come back for game
Right.
4, and all of a sudden you're like, crap, this is in serious jeopardy of falling down 3-1. And again, at that point, do I believe the Bucks could win 3 in a row if they even fall down 3-1? Absolutely. You know, but you don't want to be in a position where you can't lose one. You have to win all 3 because it's just in the NBA today. That's not super likely given where like the shooting variance is and everything. It's just not a position you want to be in.
Or was it super likely that a team ranked 27th in the NBA from 3 would be averaging like 60% from 3 at this point through 3 games? That also wasn't very likely, Marzian.
No, but I'm just saying that. I mean, I'm saying it in a bad way. I'm saying it's not super likely that the Bucks would win that series, winning 3 in a row. If they lose on Monday, all of a sudden my percentage goes to probably flips the other way, 30. Where I'm like I think they can win 3 in a row, but I wouldn't bet on it. I would pick the Heat all of a sudden in the series. I thought it was dumb that people and this is why I think some people might think, oh well, you're like we're not saying the series is over, and we both agree that it's not even close to over and that we're still fine. And I know some people might think like, oh, you're only saying that you're saying this after the game, but before the game you might have been more concerned thinking about the possibility of loss. There was people on Twitter that were saying this was a must-win game before the game, and I'm like, that is absolutely insane. Like, even if they lose, I think we're still okay. I think we're still going to win the series. Like, how can you possibly think it's a must-win game? Monday's a little bit more of a must-win. I still wouldn't consider it an absolute must-win, but it's much, it's very close to a must-win. I just couldn't believe people. I said it before the game. I'm like, we'll be okay if we lose this game. Like and I'm not changing that after what we saw.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if Giannis does not play on Monday and Brook Lopez plays like how he played, they're gonna lose on Monday. There's no doubt. They're gonna lose on Monday. If Brook Lopez doesn't get his head out of the clouds and play better on Monday, they're going to lose on Monday without Giannis. Now, if Giannis plays, you could probably overcome that. But he must play better. And Bobby Portis can't get in foul trouble, and he's got to play better too. I mean, a lot of these guys got to play better. But Brook Lopez is the number one guy because this is a series where it should be about Brook Lopez doing his thing inside. And Spoelstra said, you ain't doing anything against us. So we're just going to collapse and do what we can to try and slow that down. And then you're making careless, dumb passes inside, turning over the ball on the baseline, making dumb passes. And it wasn't one guy. There were several guys making stupid passes. And again, it goes back to that whole energy, focus, being prepared. Like, okay, so you start the game. You see what they're doing. What's your counter? Like, what is it counter? Okay, one guy dribble down and jack up a 3 and we'll come back and play defense. Because that's kind of what it felt like. Well, they're not going to let us do anything inside. They're going to collapse. So we're just going to shoot as many 3s as possible and see what happens. Man, come on. We'll see.
It's definitely, I mean, tonight's game is on mainly, now obviously there's blame to go around, but the main guys are Brook and a lot of the bench guys. And besides Pat was a positive. I thought, that's one good thing to take away from this game is that Pat continued to shoot the ball well. I thought he was good. But Chris was fine. You look at what he gave you, 23.6 assists, 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. And Drew wasn't horrible. I think Drew was okay offensively.
Well, how many turnovers did he have?
Drew had 5, Chris had 5. I was gonna say those were the only thing that you can't turn the ball over that much, but like scoring wise and everything, I thought those guys were not like bad tonight in my opinion. I didn't think Chris was bad. I didn't think Drew was bad. But the guys that were like legitimately really bad were Brook and then largely the bench. I don't know. Grayson was okay. He shot well. Bobby was bad and Brook was bad. And
Eli J on YouTube says, "Is it just me or are Bud's rotations terrible?" Marzion.
I mean, I didn't think the rotations. I didn't have a huge problem with many of the rotations tonight. Did you?
It's pretty much the same thing he's been doing. He didn't change much of anything, to be honest with you. Everybody pretty much did the same thing they've been doing. Whenever Giannis hasn't played, what you saw tonight of how far as minutes played and when he brought guys in is pretty much what you've seen throughout.
I mean,
Now,
what did you want? Like, what did people want differently is what I want to know.
well,
Like, I don't.
the only guy I said was once I saw Brook Lopez wasn't going to play, I wanted Myers Leonard and his 6 fouls. Give me all of them. Anybody that goes to the rim, hammer them. Take all
I
6
can't believe.
fouls. We're going to use all of them. I don't give a damn. But
I
I'm
can't
not
believe
going
you're
to
talking
sit
about
here
Myers
with
Leonard.
I got a 7-footer sitting on the bench. The 7-footer I have out there at that point's playing like he's 5'10". Give me a 7-footer that's going to play like he's a damn 7-footer and put him out there and see what happens. Again, you had no choice. You were down 15. You were down 18. You couldn't get over the hump. So I know I'm going to just keep running my head into the wall and do the same damn thing that didn't allow us to get over the hump the entire night. Like, what could it possibly have hurt at this point? You weren't stopping him from shooting the 3 at all. You couldn't grab an offensive rebound. Brook clearly was not in the game. So why not put your other center in? I don't care if he hasn't played in 12 years. Put him in and see what he can do. And you know what? If he stinks, okay, then pull him back out. Put Brook back in. But try it. What do you have to lose? It's a damn playoffs at this point. So I don't know. Eli also says if Giannis comes back, he puts their percentage chances of winning the series at 95%. It's fine. Fair enough. I got no
And I
problem.
mean, and that's the thing is, I don't know. I feel like most people are like, everyone's freaking out, but most people are like, oh, if Giannis comes back, we'll be fine. And most people are expecting him to come back. So then why aren't you thinking we're fine? Because if we expect Giannis to come back and you believe that with Giannis back we'll be okay, then what are we really like that worried about? No, again, you have every right to be very upset about this game. You have every right to like just be, a little bit concerned, a little bit like, ah, damn, we're down 2-1. Like, again, the margin for error is lower. It's not a position you want to be in. But like you said, I stay off Twitter a lot because, after these type of games, because the overacting game by game is just insane. You can be upset about a performance and about a game without being like the season's done, we're screwed, everything's falling apart, life is ending. If they lose Monday, a little bit more reason to be like that, but I can't get my head around it when you're only down 2-1, and we've seen them come back against far better teams with down 2-0.
More on YouTube. eLove11 says, why is it that every team against the Bucks has career highs in 3-point makes? I don't know.
They did a good job in the regular season of changing that. And when you look at, they were like 19th in threes made allowed, I think, in the season, compared to being number 1 in that 20, and like every other year under Bud, it was like they were number 1 always in threes allowed.
Right.
They did better in the regular season. I do wonder if, yes, that they wanted to change that throughout the regular season, and then they came into this series looking at it and saying, okay, Miami's not a good 3-point shooting team. We're going to go back to allowing those a little bit more, but now you got to change it up again because obviously it's not working. Like, I don't blame them for going into the series with the strategy of allowing threes.
Agreed.
Because like there's nothing wrong with that, but you do have to change it once it's not working. And I don't even blame them for after game 1 still kind of having that, because you don't, like, after one game of the Heat shooting well, you're not going to just believe that, oh, this all of a sudden means they're going to shoot well the whole series. Like, if you still want to try that in the start of game 2, that's fine. But again, now it's been 3 games. I do think game 2's was a little, the numbers don't really reflect how it was, because the Heat were, I think, 31% until the fourth quarter, and the game was a blowout. And then in the fourth, they shot 8 of 10. So again, maybe the Bucks looked at that, and that's why they went into game 3 with the game plan of to still allow them. They were saying, okay, game 1 was a fluke. Game 2, they really weren't that good until garbage time. We still don't believe they're that good of a 3-point shooting team. So game 3, we're going to go into it with this game plan. Now I don't know. There's not really an excuse for it now.
All right, got a tweet here. Mark tweets at Sparky Radio. Giannis covers up a lot of flaws. Agreed. Aaron Rodgers covers up a lot of flaws for the Packers. Superstars cover up a lot of flaws. I don't give a damn what sport you want to talk about. Maybe baseball's a little bit different because there's so many damn guys. So maybe baseball's different. But if you got a superstar quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow, whoever, yeah, they're going to cover up flaws. No question. If you have a superstar basketball player, especially in basketball, when there's only 5 guys on the floor and a superstar can make such a big difference, yes, they're going to cover flaws. But you want to know what the other thing is, Mark? The game plan's built around your superstar more times than not. right? You go in planning on playing with that guy. So then when you don't play with that guy and you got to go to plan B and you don't have that alpha anymore to go take over a game when you have to have that guy, of course it's going to change. Yes, but that's anybody. If I don't know, take Boston. If I go and say, okay, Jason Tatum, you're out. You're not playing the next series. Boston's chances of winning are going to go down, folks. Like it's going to happen. If I take Joker off of Denver, they're done. I don't care what you say. If I take Jokic off the floor and say, Nuggets, you don't have them next series, they're all done. They're going home. It's all done. All done. So the Bucks, I think, can still win the series without Giannis, right? But if they lose the series, and it would be 8-1 and ugly. If they lose the series without Giannis, then everybody's going to go, well, they didn't have Giannis, and they're going to give them the free pass. And I'm here to tell you right now, I'm not giving them a free pass if they lose this series without Giannis, because they're a better team even without Giannis.
Yeah, if they lose without Giannis, if they lose the series, again, even if like we'll assume if they lose a series, it probably means Giannis didn't come back or didn't play until whatever. I don't know. He would have had to probably miss a couple more games. Is that a large reason why they would lose? Yes. But that doesn't mean it's like excuse. That doesn't mean, it doesn't matter that they lost. You should still beat the Heat without Giannis. You absolutely should. There's no excuse to lose the series. If it was Boston or someone like that and you didn't have Giannis, okay, then that's an excuse. You can excuse that and say the reason we lost is we didn't have Giannis. But yeah, this series, there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to win it without him. And the bottom line is, if they do end up losing this series and Giannis doesn't come back, I guess that should be a sign that they probably weren't going to win it anyways. Because if you can't beat the Heat without, again,
we're going to win a championship, you're saying?
Yeah. I should say, yeah, it's a sign that they probably weren't going to win the title if, regardless, if outside of Giannis, your team isn't good enough to beat the Heat in a 7-game series, then what are we really doing? Like they probably were never that legit.
Zach on YouTube says Jay, I should say, has been useless. Will his minutes be increased versus Boston? Bud can't even feel comfortable playing him right now. And remember, when they got Jay Crowder, I believe, Marzion, we talked about Crowder was for that Boston series because Grayson Allen's defense is so bad that Jay Crowder was specifically to come in to try and play defense against Tatum and Jaylen Brown and help out Grayson Allen. But to be honest, as we talked about earlier in this podcast, I mean, how good really is he defensively at this point of his career?
Yeah, it's not looking good. He's obviously not giving you much offensively, and then defensively been very disappointing. If he's not able to, figure it out, I would think that they'd have to go to Wes more. And Wes is missing right now too, but you'd have to go to Wes. You'd have to try maybe, they never want to do this, and I don't blame them because Giannis is such a good off-ball defender, and you also don't want to use a ton of his energy defensively, but you probably have to at some point try to just put Giannis on, Tatum or whatever. And, because again, you have to do whatever it takes. If you have to sacrifice something at some point. If you don't have a guy that can stop him outside of Giannis or stop wings outside of Giannis, you just have to. Like, you can't just let them, do whatever they want and just to save Giannis for offense and to use him off ball. It's like, no, at some point you just have to. And it's the same with Jimmy Butler in this series. You can't just let him, if Giannis is out there and nobody else seems to be able to guard him, you can't just let that happen. You have to just say, okay, we're going to use a little bit more energy from Giannis on the defensive end. We're not going to have him off the ball, but screw it. We have to do something to stop this. And Giannis is the guy that, you do trust that he can do that given his length and just how good he is defensively overall. So, yeah, it's very disappointing though, because Crowder, that's what you wanted him for. That's what, if he is able to turn around, if he was able to really be that good defensively, it would be a game changer. But so far it hasn't panned out that way, and it's been disappointing.
Ben on YouTube says, I understand the frustration. I was very frustrated today, but I think we went fairly easily with Giannis. Marzion, we're going to wrap up this Green and Growing. Thanks for tuning in on the Odyssey Sports YouTube page. Thanks for listening on Twitter Spaces. Don't forget, Green and Growing Podcast. Download it wherever you download your favorite podcasts. We're everywhere you want us to be outside of being on the radio. That's where I would want to be with Nathan Marzion, but we're not there yet. Maybe one day, though, Marzion and I will be on a radio station near you. Marzion, you had told me earlier off the air that you We're going out if they won. That was happening. They lost. I want you to go out. If your
No,
friend, no, yes, I want you to go out, have a couple of beverages, blow a little steam off, right? Have a little fun. Just put this behind you, relax. Tomorrow, I want you to chill out, maybe grill some food outside, relax a little bit, get ready for your day job on Monday, and be refreshed and ready to talk about a Bucks victory on Monday night. Don't let this eat you alive tonight, Marzian. You're
I'm not.
young, you got a lot of going on. Go out and have some fun.
I don't go out after Bucks losses, man.
You
I don't do
have
it.
just
I don't do it.
tonight. Break
No,
break the curse. Go
no,
out tonight and
no, no,
have a
no.
couple of beverages. I'm a Jack guy. Go
I feel
have a Jack and
so.
Coke.
I just feel number one, I feel like guilty. I feel like
Guilty? You
why am
didn't
I
play
having
the
a good
game.
time? Why am I having a good time right now when they lost? Like it doesn't feel right. That just feels wrong. And number two,
They're
I
gonna
wouldn't even
go
be able to
out.
no, hold on. Number two, I wouldn't even be able to have a good time because when they lose, it just and again, I'm very frustrated. I'm very upset. That doesn't mean I think they're going to lose the series, but like I still think they win the series. But I'm just, it hurts me. It affects me that much that it prevents me from really being able to like have a super good time and like I'm just not happy. Like I don't want to go out when I'm not happy. I don't want to like I just let me just be sad, go to bed.
So what
Maybe
are you
watch a
gonna
movie.
do
I might
then?
watch. I'm gonna watch a movie. I don't want to watch basketball right now. I would watch Grizzlies Lakers, but I don't really want to watch basketball. I'm gonna just watch a movie, do something, maybe eat some ice cream, and go to bed.
You sound like a 45-year-old woman right now. Eat some
I
ice cream and watch a movie and call it a night in my pajamas. All right,
can I quick?
Marzian.
I want to quick ask. What would you grade Giannis, Chris, or Drew, Chris, Brook tonight? Each one.
Brooke F.
Okay.
Easy. Horrible. F minus. Z. Pick a letter down the line. Horrible. The horrible. Should be embarrassed. Holiday. I mean, I can't give those two guys A's. You each had you
No,
gave them
no,
10. You gave them
they're
10
definitely not A's.
turnovers. You weren't
Yeah,
no.
no,
I don't know. Holiday and Middleton both like B minuses, somewhere in
yeah,
that
because
area.
yeah, I don't know. To me, yeah, Brook was the main, the biggest disappointment was him. I give him, either D or F or whatever failing grade, and then yeah, Drew, I might go. Before I was saying Drew was fine, but now that I think about it, like he was 4 of 4 to start the game, and I think he ended up 8 of 18. So he really did struggle the last like 3 quarters, and the turnovers, yeah. So and his assists weren't there, and that some just comes with them not moving the ball as well.
I'll give you another
Like
one.
he
Grayson
had
Allen was feeling it from outside. Why did
yeah.
they just continue to feed that dude outside? Like, dude, just keep shooting the threes until you miss 2 or 3 in a row. Like, just
One
feed
thing
him.
One thing we didn't mention is that we talked about the ball movement stuff, but something that really reflected it was that uh, Drew in the first 2 games he had 16 assists in game one and
Yep.
12 in game two, or 11 in game two, and tonight I think he had 0 at the half,
They had 3
and
as a team at half.
he ended up with 3, and it's like that reflects it right there. Drew, I'd probably give a C now that I think about it, because yeah, I mean the turnovers, not many assists, didn't really shoot it well the last 3 quarters. So I'd have to probably go C. But Chris, I'd give like again, I like I said before, I don't think Chris was bad tonight. I think yes, he turned the ball over a little bit too much. He wasn't fantastic, but I wouldn't, I'm not sitting here going, oh wow, Chris Middleton couldn't step up. Chris Middleton sucked. He's a huge reason we lost. I thought he was fine. I think I'd give him like a B minus.
Nathan Marzian,
Eh,
follow him on Twitter at Nathan Marzian. Tell him to go out and have some beverages tonight instead of sitting at home like a 45-year-old lady in his pajamas watching a movie, eating some ice cream. Well, what's your favorite time of ice cream, Marzian?
Vanilla, straight vanilla.
And you're so boring with even your ice cream choice. Golly, man.
Hey, it's the classic. You can't beat the classics. Like
Then
there's a
take
reason it's. Well, go ahead.
what?
I was just gonna say, like, with anything in life, people get mad when you like the basic thing. Well, there's a reason it's basic. It's because it's good. There's a reason it's popular. It's because it's good. Vanilla ice cream is good.
You know what I'm going to do? I got
What?
kids at home and everything. So I ain't going out. I'm going to Wendy's and I'm getting myself a large chocolate frosty on the way home. So you're going to have your little ice cream. I'm going to go get my ass a large frosty from Wendy's on the way home. And that's what I'm going to have to drown my sorrows. And then I'm going to watch the Cosby Show. And because Cosby Show makes me laugh. And I don't care about everything else that y'all are telling
Hold
me.
on.
Oh,
So
you
you're
can't watch
so,
the Cosby Show anymore. Yes, I do. I watch it every night before I go to bed. It's my thing.
so
What?
hold up. You're getting mad at me for wanting to just watch a movie or show,
I'm
whatever.
old. My days are past me. I live
And I went
vicariously
out
through
last
you
night
young
too.
guys now, Marzian.
I went out last night too and had a great time. It was very fun, but that's because I had hope, excitement about this game. And now the game went bad. Why would I want to go out? Why would I want to be happy right now?
Are any of your friends out, or are they all sitting at home having ice cream and watching a movie too?
No, some of them are out, Some are out
Then
of town, some are
go!
out. I don't need to.
Go!
I'm fine, man. I don't. Why would I want to? I don't want to be bringing other people down because I'm upset about the game. I don't want to be like. There are times in life
Oh,
where, for me, there are times in life where you should be sad. You should be upset. You don't try to cheer yourself up. For me, that's when the Bucks lose. I'm like, okay, like that's how life works for me. The Bucks lose, I'm
Packers
sad.
lose a conference championship game to the Seahawks. By all means, be angry and sad. I get it, right? Niners run for like 5 million yards against you in a playoff game. Be mad and be sad. I understand the season's over. The season's not over. It's 2-1. There's a lot of time left. Like, if this was an elimination game and the Bucks just got beat by an 8 seed, then I'd agree with you. Like, everybody should just be in mourning and misery the rest of the night. And a lot of series left. It's a Saturday night. Go have some fun, you young buck.
I'll
Nathan
go.
Marzian, follow him on Twitter. Encourage the boy to go out and have a good
I'll
time.
go out. I'll go out next weekend after hopefully this series is done for and we have beaten the Heat in 6 games.
That would be good. At Nathan Marzian on Twitter. You can follow me at Sparky Radio. Thanks for tuning us in. Tell your friends, tell your family members. Green and Growing Podcast. Download it. The more downloads we get, the better it is for us to keep this thing going. So make sure to download it and listen. And Odyssey Sports YouTube page. Thanks for those of you watching. Thanks for the comments. Appreciate it. BK Badgers, one last comment. Great post-game show, guys. You guys deserve to be on the radio. Until then, I'll keep tuning in on YouTube. Bucks got this. Hang in there, boys. Giannis will be back. I agree. Have a good one, y'all. Toodles.